The content on this channel is for informational and educational purposes only. Please contact a professional when it comes to your financial needs. There are a couple things, actually three things that I want to focus on today about your credit card usage. Things you should avoid and why, and how you can maintain a healthy credit balance before the end of the month. All right, your first credit card ick is utilization. You don't want to go over a certain percentage. I'm saying the target should be around 30. Never go over 49% on your credit cards. What that does is signal the lender that you may have problems paying that balance off at the end of the month or before. And that is one of the biggest drops on either Equifax or TransUnion. Equifax might hit you for this neighborhood of 15 points on your credit score. TransUnion like 67. Got to be very careful on what that looks like to a lender. Never go over that utilization point on your credit cards. The cost associated with going over those points, that 30% rate, utilization rate on your credit cards, could lead to a monthly statement that drops your credit score down those 15 to 67 points, de- depending on the credit card bureau you are looking at. What that means is, like, if you're already on the bubble of a 700 and you drop 15 or 67 points, you're now from good into fair. And that means you're going to be charged more interest and perhaps thousands of more dollars for a purchase for like a car than you would have if you hadn't went over that monthly limit. This is very expensive, and this could definitely mess up anybody's budget. Well, what if you don't qualify for larger budgets? Say you want to go from 500 to 1,000. Although you may not get approved for a larger budget on a single card, the lenders are encouraging you to get multiple cards. Now, that serves a purpose, but again, you want to keep those balances under a certain amount, under 30%. I'm saying really definitely under 49%. Never, ever go across that threshold, but that will increase your availability, your credit availability, if you have multiple cards. Now, if you can swing it, fine, but just do not come close to maxing out cards because it leads to these unintended consequences, very expensive unintended consequences. Well, yeah, of course, emergencies come up and you're never going to be able to stay to that hard and fast rule. But I'm saying if you have to go over that 40% limit, or excuse me, 30% limit into that 49%, you want to make sure you pay that money back instantly, especially if you're at the end of that billing cycle. Definitely same day, I'm saying, if not faster. Do not let this thing cross over into another month by avoiding making those minimum payments. Minimum payments are the devil's elixir for making sure you stay in generational debt and not building generational wealth. You want to make sure that those balances or those minimum payments are not minimal. Something for an additional $72 in this case, if you have a $500 credit card balance or getting close to it, make that extra $50, $60. It means you don't have to pay it all back, but you want to drop that balance down as fast as possible so you don't suffer any of those negative consequences. And lastly, avoid overutilizing those cards. It may be convenient. You don't have to reach in your wallet for an additional debit card or pull money out of your account instantly. But it does come with its drawbacks. You're paying already, in most cases in America, nearly 30% interest rates on these cards now. Some are 35%. Only A1 credit card borrowers are paying anything under 20% at the current time. And as these fiscal and financial matters within this country continue to worsen, and the availability of money and lending is soon to be impacted by all of the upheavals going on currently, You want to make sure that your house is in order. When I'm talking about your credit house, make sure you are keeping those balances down, because you just don't know. Do not, do not, do not take that advice for granted. Now, before I let you go, I'm going to let you know what's going on with the business. I haven't put in a whole lot of time into creating any more content, as I've been focusing on creating my land cafe. And I've gotten all the equipment. The only stumbling block I ran into was the lease itself for the building. Um, I set a hard and fast deadline, which is something I never do, because I wanted to be so fixed in and locked in on making this thing happen. I even did that before I got all of the equipment. So as I'm waiting for uh, a, a call back, after I put the application in, and the application was approved, apparently, I just haven't heard anything from uh, the realtor, and it's gotten to the point where one of my backers kind of backed out. So with that said, it gave me a pause, and I hate that, because really I don't want to put myself in a financial situation where I'm struggling to make this money come up, no matter how good the deal was. Um, so I'm going to be looking for a smaller environment, probably around 1,200 square foot, but at least I own all of my equipment. There were several uh, once in a lifetime deals on the equipment that I actually needed, and I had to utilize that. I ended up saving myself thousands of dollars in equipment costs for the scale that I'm building. I'm going to have uh, 12 separate workstations where I'm going to be teaching these classes, which is, a great class size for me. Um, and I was able to do that for less than the cost of one PC. Don't even ask me how it is. It's only favors. It's just grace, God's grace and favor. Um, to have 12 Windows 11 PCs, and able to purchase them and own them outright for less than, like I said, the cost of one single Mac. Um, I can't understate that enough. You want to give praise on a large platform, so I'm letting you guys know this is a thing that's happening. Now, along with that, we've got some obstacles that you have to come up with during the leasing itself, because you got to get some type of umbrella insurance, protect from any kind of slip and falls or theft or whatever may happen when you get into business. And this being my first foray into a real brick and mortar, I wanted to try to make sure I covered all my bases, so I'm not going to tap out or max out. Just like I'm not maxing out these credit cards, I'm not going to max out my monthly obligation to both my personal and business life. I'm going to keep you guys posted. You guys stay tuned for the latest. I'm going to try to get more and more active again since I've gotten all the major physical hurdles over with. We're going to get back into what's going on with crypto. If you've been looking, $118,000 per coin, jumps of $18,000 in less than last month. This is a good time to start thinking about mining seriously. And we're going to do another review on another miner eventually. I may go ahead and purchase it, but we're going to save that for another day. I'll talk to you later.